I'm in a place I wanna be. I'm fighting things no one can see.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jenn Ciano, and I am from MerryFit. I am a specialist in fitness nutrition as well as a fitness trainer. And John has ever so nicely entrusted me to the show all by my lonesome today. So bear with me because this is kind of all new to me doing this on my own. But what we're going to do today is talk about holiday parties and how you can get through them while maintaining your health. Because we are in December, we're right smack in the middle of party season with Hanukkah, Christmas, we got the New Year coming up. So how do we get through it and not sabotage our health? There are a lot of different ideas. Some people like to work out hard the day of a party, put themselves in a massive caloric deficit so they can just go and eat whatever they want. Other people like to eat super clean leading up to it, salads and grilled chicken, and then again they're at liberty to eat what they want. I'm a little more moderate. I tell people don't change their routine. It's too busy of a season to go about changing your routine. It's not going to help you and it's too hard to sustain, so just stick with what you've been doing. But regarding parties, the first thing I want you to do, and you can start right now, is eliminate the word can't from your vocabulary. When you use the word can't, you're effectively taking control out of your hands. When something is a can't, whether it's food, whether it's a drink, a vice, that person that maybe you shouldn't be hanging out with, can't makes it more enticing. And when it comes to food, when it's more enticing, that can actually lead to binging. So, throw away can't. Instead, use the word choose. You choose. It's your choice. It's your control. You own that choice. So you can choose to have vegetables over chips. You can choose to have that piece of cake. It's your choice. Own it. But then you're also owning the consequences that follow, whether they're good consequences or bad. They're yours. That's it. That's that. But it's your choice. So go ahead. Enjoy your food. But don't say can't. Okay? Another really popular thing to do, and a really simple thing to do, is offer to bring a dish. That way, again, you've got that choice. You know you can make a good choice. And you're giving other people that choice as well. You can bring a veggie platter with some homemade ranch dip. Ranch dip is super easy to make yourself. You can make it with Greek yogurt and have a little punch of protein in with your vegetables. A fruit platter. Make a cake that has applesauce instead of oil in it. Or those black bean brownies we talked about last week, because those are full of nutrients, and John can attest they're super good. People ask me all the time, what can I drink? And again, I'm not going to tell people that if you don't drink alcohol, start now. If you do drink alcohol, your pure spirits, vodka, gin, whiskey, Scotch, those are all no carb. Have them with soda water or seltzer water, and that keeps it very low and obviously not healthy, but it won't sabotage your diet. It's when you start mixing your sodas and your juices with the alcohol, that's when your calories and your carbohydrates shoot up. So stick with your pure spirits, or champagne is actually very low in carbohydrates. Same with red wine. Red wine, white wine are very low. And the benefits of red wine, because we touched on this last time, but we didn't get to actually delve into it. Red wine is full of antioxidants. It contains anthocyanins. It also contains resveratrol. Both anthocyanins and resveratrol have been shown to decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease. All alcohol decreases blood pressure because it's a depressant. The red wine can also, some studies with mice have actually shown that the resveratrol can decrease the risk of dementia. So obviously, studies with mice don't necessarily correlate to human studies, but the potential is there. So you can indulge a little bit and quite possibly have some health benefits. If you don't drink, again, I'm not telling you to start. You can get anthocyanins and resveratrol in berries, grapes, obviously, grape juice, pistachios, peanuts. So there are a lot of options there for your health. If you drink, do it in moderation. Have a glass of water in between each glass of alcohol. And if you don't drink, obviously, don't start. I'm not taking responsibility for that. One really super simple thing you can do is have full hands, as my 5-year-old says. When you have full hands, you can't mindlessly snack. So have your drink in one hand. You can have a plate in the other. You can't sit there at the chip bowl and pop chip after chip after chip. You can't, you have to put your glass down to pick up that fork to have that cake. So having full hands keeps you from just eating everything that you see. And the number one thing that I tell people before a party is to eat before you go. Eating a serving of protein, having some vegetables before you go to the party will help to satiate you. It will help to keep your blood sugar levels stable. You won't have that crash and then want to go and raid the dessert table. So have something as simple as, you can have some deli turkey. One slice has about 7 to 8 grams of protein per slice. Roast beef, again, about 8. Cheddar cheese, about 7 grams of protein. You can get some good protein with a very simple snack before you go to that party, and then you're not going to want to eat everything you see. So one way, people always ask me too, how will I know how much I'm eating? You have, every one of us, barring extenuating circumstances, we all have a portable food guide, serving guide with us at every moment of every day. And that's your hand. Your hand can tell you exactly how much protein, carbohydrates, vegetables, and fats you should eat in any one serving. So the palm of your hand, the size and the thickness, dictates how much protein you should have. That's one serving of protein. On average, it's about 20 to 30 grams of protein. For men, that's 2 palms is 2 servings. Women have 1. Your cupped hands, filling up your cupped hand, that's a guide for carbohydrates. So your grains, your fruits. Again, men 2 servings, women 1. Your fist, the size of your fist, that's a serving of vegetables. Again, men 2, women 1. And your thumb is how much fats you should have. Nuts, oils, nut butters. And once again, like everything else, men on average can have 2 servings, women can have 1. If you're exercising more or you're dieting, those amounts can vary, but that is an average that you can go by. Okay? So there are some simple, really, really simple tips for getting through the holidays without throwing your whole life off kilter. I see someone has talked about vodka, club soda, and lime, which is good. avoid the tonic water. Tonic can actually increase the calories and the carbohydrates, so that's good. Yeah, those are my most favorite tips for getting through those holidays, and just helping keeping yourself on track as you go to party after party and get through to the new year relatively unscathed as far as your health is concerned. So I hope that, so Monk asks about Guinness. Guinness is really good, actually. Everybody thinks Guinness is super heavy, and while it's a heavy beer, it's actually relatively low in calories. The carbohydrates, it's about 13 grams per serving, but the calories are right around 100, 110 calories. So it's not a bad option for you if you're a beer drinker. I just hit my mic, I'm sorry. Guinness is actually my preference when it comes to beer. So I like that a lot, and it's a good choice. Thank you, Monk, for asking. So I don't see any other questions popping up, and well, I spoke a little more quickly than I had anticipated. I'm used to having someone to play off of, so I may have run through things a little more quickly than I would ordinarily if I was having a chat with someone. But let's see. Scotch. Scotch is great. Monk asks about Scotch. Scotch is one of those pure spirits, which is really good. There are no carbohydrates in it. And a lot of Scotch distilleries recommend that you actually drink it on the rocks, which will give you more flavor notes, but then it also cuts down on how much you're drinking. But Scotch is a great option. Eating leftovers. Leftovers, it's the same idea with going into the party, is you don't necessarily take home that box of cookies from the host, because Lord knows the host is trying to get rid of everything so they don't have it in their own house, so they're not picking at it in the coming days. Take a little bit, be polite. No one says you have to. No one's going to tie you down and force you to take cookies and cake. But if you do, once you get home, again, own that choice. If you want the cookie, have it. Don't eat all of them, because then you're just, that will throw you off. But again, own your choice, own those consequences. I don't see any other questions popping up. So, if there are no more questions from you lovely people, I thank you for hanging out with me for a little while. I will be back in 3 weeks, the third Wednesday in January. I forget the date that is. But I will be back with more information for you. I hope you enjoyed what we talked about today. And thanks for having me. John, thank you for having me. Oh, one more. So Monk is telling me that there is a little girl he knows who has a great recipe for avocado mousse. This is true. Avocado mousse is fantastic. Believe it or not, you don't taste the avocado in it at all. What I can do is I can find that recipe, I can give it to John, and we can post it on the Fit Show page, which is another good option. It needs to be kept cold, so it might not be the best thing to bring to a party if you can't keep it chilled, but it is a great option for some of those parties. Thank you, Monk. I actually forgot about that mousse. All right. So I think that'll do it. Thanks again. I loved being here. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a fantastic holiday season and a wonderful new year. Take care.